It is now Monday, December the 6th. So I am behind on all of my advent calendars because it was the wedding weekend. I didn't pick my camera up at all. I just enjoyed the moment. Vlogging daily is not easy. I normally try to do it once a week or bank a lot of stuff and then have stuff what they call in the can to edit. I still have 2 videos in my camera roll that I haven't even edited yet from months ago. Anyway, so I think I'm just going to open 5 and 6 and 7 and get a day back to a day ahead again. So this is going to be like a 3-dayer. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to pick all 3 out, and then I'm going to just choose the coffee that I think I'm going to like the best. So that's the way I'm going to work the coffee part, because I only want 1 cup a day. And then tonight I'll just taste each one of the wines and do like a full-on wine tasting with 3 days. And that's the way I'll do it. So let's do this.
Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas to all.
All right, first to choose from is caramel pecan. Cinnamon sticky bun. Ooh, we got some good choices here. And then 7 is Colombian. Okay, I am going to pick the cinnamon sticky bun. Let's go make it. Okay, this is good. Not as good as some of the other cinnamon coffees that I've had in the past, but it's good. All right, so the next time you'll see me, I will be doing wine and cheese. 3 of them tonight. All right, after a busy day in the office, it's time to try some wines. We're doing something a little different this time. I'm actually doing 3 wines and 3 cheeses since I am behind and I'm catching up. So I have already taken all the wines and all the cheeses out of the advent calendar boxes. So we're going to start with number 5. This is the one that should have been on the day of the wedding, but I was too busy doing wedding things. So this is a Pinot Grigio. I'm not typically much of a white wine drinker anymore, more Chardonnay, but we will give it a whirl. And it is being paired with a Mediterranean Gouda, which from last year was one of my favorites. So we shall give it a whirl. And I will have Evan try them as well to weigh in. So here it is. Smells like a regular. It looks like all of these are being called Merry and Bright Winter Wonderland instead of the separate companies of last year. So far, every single one of these bottles in front of me says Winter Wonderland. So I don't know if it's their brand or a brand called Winter Wonderland, but that's what they did this year. All right, first we're going to taste the wine. It's a little too citrusy for my liking, but if you like light and bright type of wine, then you will like it. Now I want to see how it matches with the Mediterranean Gouda. This is one of my favorite cheeses of last year. So good. Okay, for me, it calms down the citrus part of it for me. It's actually a really good pairing. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see what Evan thinks. He doesn't want to be on camera. He's out watching the football game, so I'm gonna take this one to him and see what he thinks. That's too funny. So Evan had exactly the same thing to say as I did. He said the wine was a little too acidic, but for the first time, in his opinion, these are perfectly paired together because it mellows it out. Almost identical to what I literally just said. So I will put these aside. I'm going to have the cheese because that's like my favorite cheese. All right, so day 6, which was yesterday. I was weddinged out and just chilled out yesterday. So this is a Cabernet Sauvignon. Not typically my favorite. This is one of Evan's favorites. To me, it's always a little heavier. There's the look of the bottle, again, Winter Wonderland. And they are pairing it with a mustard Gouda. I had this last year as well. And again, it was one of my favorite cheeses. So first we'll taste the Cab. Sometimes I do like Cab. This one smells really good. It's actually not that bad. It's a little too, for me, it's not crazy dry at the end, but it's heavy. I like Pinot Noirs are much lighter. But we're gonna match it with the mustard Gouda and see what it does. It goes nicely together. I don't think it's one of my favorite matches. Let's take it back out to Evan and see what he says. Be right back. So surprisingly, Evan did not like this Cabernet. He wasn't super fond of it when he typically does like it. Then I had him try the cheese. He does like the Gouda cheese on its own, the mustard one, but he doesn't like it paired with this either. He's just not a fan of this wine. So we're actually gonna dump this one because I don't want it, he doesn't want it, and we're just gonna go on to number 7. So number 7 is back to a rosé, but this one isn't a sparkling rosé. This one is just a regular rosé. And again, it is being paired with the Edam, which is like a Swiss cheese. So they're doing almost the identical pairing. And I did like the pairing of the very first one, which was the bubbly one. Okay, again, it's Winter Wonderland, which apparently is all of them. Smells like a rosé. Okay, so I don't mind this one. I did like the bubbly one a little bit better. I think it had a little bit more sweetness to it than the other one. But now I'm going to taste it with the Edam, which I know I like because it's a form of Swiss, and we'll see how it pairs together. And then we'll have Evan try it. It's a nice creamy cheese. I like it better with the cheese. Yep. One of these days I'll get him to do an on-camera one, maybe before the end of the season. He's been the invisible wine connoisseur this year. Last year he was in a lot of my videos, but now he's being camera shy all of a sudden. All right, I'm gonna take it out to him and see what he thinks. So Evan is not really a fan of rosé, so he had the rosé and he was like, eh. But when he paired it with the Edam cheese, he said it smooths it out, which is what I think it does too, and he liked the pairing better. Again, I also believe in this as well, that I like the pairing of this together. Overall, of tonight's 3 wines, I would say that wine-wise, I think I like the rosé the best. I do like the pairing of the Pinot Grigio with the Mediterranean cheese. I just happen to be a big fan of that cheese also. So yeah, the only one we were both not super fans of was the Cabernet Sauvignon, but I think you have to have be a fan of it in the first place, although Evan normally is a fan of that one and he didn't really like it this time around. So now we're all caught up. So tomorrow we will go back to where we left off and it'll be a day at a time, unless I have another huge event coming up. I do have Disney coming up in the near future, so I will probably incorporate that into my wine tasting. But yeah, so we're all caught up. Well, leave your comments below and see if you like the pairings and if you have the same pairings. I got a message from one person in one of my other videos saying that their wines and cheeses were a little different than mine. So I'm wondering if there's distribution centers on the West Coast, East Coast. She was in Ohio, so it's just a little strange. But anyway, so on that note, thank you for tuning into the wonderful world of Wendy. You can give me the trifecta of love by hitting the subscribe button below, give me a big thumbs up, and hit that bell notification so that you'll know every time that I upload a new video. And I will see you tomorrow.